So yesterday we have discussed about some functions, right? What is that function? We want to set a business unit of the login user in a contact entity. For that, we have created a field contact business unit, and we need to automatically map. So what we have done is we have installed this Dataverse REST builder. So how to generate the query? First, we will get the access token by passing the CRM URL. Okay, then it will load all the entities in our CRM. So here we will create a new collection. In that new collection, what we need to do, we need to retrieve a single record. Which is the single record? So yesterday we have written this function set business unit. So we need to set the business unit automatically based on the login user. For that, this is the execution context that I have passed in this function. I'm getting the form context and I'm getting the owner from the owner ID field. I'm replacing the owner ID with this parenthesis, and then I have generated this code. I have only written till here. Here, everything is generated one. Let's see how. What is our requirement? I have to retrieve a single record, which is the table system user. 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 Okay. In this user, what I need to get single record. Who is that single record? By passing the owner ID, I need to get the user record of that owner ID. So first we need to select the table. So as soon as we select the table, all the table information will be loaded in this tool. So in this table, I need to get business unit. And then I will pass some dummy value. And when I click xrm.webapi, this is the code that we have generated. If you see it here, xrm.webapi.retrieve record system user owner ID. Here owner ID, we have given a dummy value. We are replacing this dummy value with the owner ID that we are getting from the owner ID field. And then we are getting the business unit ID value. Here we will get the value. So all this code is auto generated. Now what we need to do is we need to set a field value. Well, we need to set this business unit value in our CRM field. So how to set? If you see here, this is a lookup that we have worked on earlier. We need to pass array and the collection. Array of 0 means the selected record. Okay, in this array of 0, we have three parameters: ID, name, and type. ID will give the record ID, name will give the record name, entity type will give the entity type of the. So here we are getting all this. Business unit business unit ID value will give the ID, business unit ID. Formatted value will give the business unit name. Lookup logical name will give the entity name. So we have all these three parameters. Now we need to create an object. Okay, how to create an object? First, I will create var value new array, because we need to pass the values in the array. And then To this array, I will create an object. How I will create? Value of 0 is equals to new object. Okay. Here, now I will pass the three parameters. First, it will be the ID. Second will be the name. Third will be the entity type. So value of array of 0 dot id is equals to where id is mapped here. Just copy paste. Value of array of 0 dot name, where the name is stored in this variable. Next, value of array of 0 dot entity type, where the entity type is present here. Just copy and paste. Now we have created an object and we bind the ID, name and entity type to this object. Now we will simply set the value. How to set a field value? Form context dot get attribute, in which we need to set a value dot set value. So what is the value that we have created? The value is this one. And the field that we need to set a value is we can get it from CRM here. Copy, paste. Okay. Now let's copy this, paste it here. Let's publish. Let's refresh. When we are setting the value unload, we have registered this unload. Contact form, contact for interactive experience. What is the function name? Set business unit. So we have registered unload of the contact form. You can see set business unit. So as soon as I click new, the business unit will be mapped like this. So let's check whether the business unit is correct or not. Let's go to security. Users. This is not the user. This is the user that I used to log in. The business unit is this. Let's see if we have any other users. Let's try it out. Enabled users. We don't have. Let me try to create a new user. Okay, let's try to go navigate from here. Admin. Create a duplicate. Admin. Users. Users. So let me try to log in with this user. This user has been created in old instance. Let me try to create a new one. So test user. Yes. User. User. CRM is this. Password. Now let me try to log in with this user. So now we will get an error because can anybody tell me why?
Have to assign security role.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I will what I'll do, I'll just refresh this test user. I will change the business unit. Okay. Before I will create a business unit, new business unit. Okay. Demo India is the business unit. I will change the business unit of the user. Okay. Then I will assign the role. As of now, I'll give the system admin. Now this user login, let me refresh. So if I open the contact page with this new login user, the new login user belongs to Demo India Business Unit. So when I log in with my credential, I can see the business unit this because I map to this business unit. I have created a new user and I have assigned that user to the new business unit. When this user login, you can see business unit will be in Demo India because login user business unit is this. So it fetch the dynamically. How I am saying dynamically is if you verify the code, the set business unit, I'm getting the owner ID. So owner ID, when I log in, my owner ID will be different. When you log in, your owner ID will be different. Based on the owner ID, I am retrieving the user record. So I'm saying retrieve user entity record, which matches to this owner ID, and fetch in this record. Every record will have some fields. So I'm passing fetch business unit value. Okay, this code will automatically generate till here. We have to write only the code to get the owner ID and to bind the object, and we will simply pass this object in a set value for this lookup field. So by looking the code, you may think it is a difficult, but if we see properly, we have only written 1, 2, 3, 4, and this lines. All this code, all the retrieve call is auto generated. How? Using the dataverse connect extension. Are you clear on this function, what we have done here, we are using, yesterday we discussed how to retrieve the records. We have two methods, right? Retrieve and retrieve multiple. Retrieve will retrieve the single record. Retrieve multiple will retrieve the multiple records. Okay. So here we have retrieved the single record. How we are saying single record? Because we are passing the ID to fetch only this record. But in retrieve multiple, that will not be the case. So I will write another function. Okay. Before that, let me know if any questions in this.
Sir, why can't we log in with the previous instance users and check?
We can do. I forgot the their password actually.
Even after
Okay.
experience expires, it will work, sir.
No. What I have done is, so when we open the Microsoft Power Platform, in the environment we have two environment by default environment, one environment that we have created, correct? So let me show you. So if you check the demo video, I have initially installed the sales application. Then before expiring this, what I have done is I have used this create Dynamics 365 customer service trial. And I log in with this user, same old credential. This is sales customer service trial. So in a single instance, I have created two CRMs, one for sales, one for customer service. So here I use this login, and in this CRM itself, the customer service instance has been installed. You got it right? I have created this environment. What I have done with this login user, I use this same login to create customer service trial. So that's why you can see the users here, old users. But now you have created altogether the new CRM system, then you won't see this old users. So since it is disabled, that is not visible here. By default, this is the instance that I have created. It's a default instance. In this instance, I have created, initially I have created sales trial. Once that expired, then I have created the customer service trial. So the customer service trial also I have enabled for this instance. So since the instances are present in same environment, I can see the users which are created in our previous CRM. You can now do, right? So what you'll do, now you have created your CRM trial version newly. So if you have created with the sales application access, you can now create the customer service. Here in environment, you will see three applications, three instances. One instance is the default. One instance will be the sales that you have used to create, and another instance that now you will create. If you have created your CRM with the sales trial, you can now create with the customer service. If you have previously created the customer service trial, now you can enable the trial for the sales trial. If you want, I can make any of you as a presenter. We will do it if you are confused. Or if you will try and let me know, that will also be fine.
We'll try and if any doubt, we'll ask.
Okay, you got it right. if you have used your CRM for the sales, you'll just simply search Dynamics 365 customer service trial. Here it is, sales. It will be the customer service. So you can try free, you can use this login, then it will be installed. If you want, let me try to see it another. Yeah, you use this URL. Here you can give your CRM, existing CRM login user. Then click on start free trial. I will share this URL with you in the chat. Just take this URL and paste it in your notepad, and you can try after the class. Okay. Please try everyone and let me know. So once you install, you will see the three instances, three environments here. One environment will be the default one will be the sales, one will be the customer service. Okay. So let me know if any questions here in this function. Anybody, any questions? Please let me know. No questions?
No, sir. We will try and we'll come back.
No, sir.
Okay. So now we will start another function that will be based on the retrieve multiple. So now the requirement is under account entity, I will be having multiple contacts. For example, this. So when I update address one city of the account, I need to update this value with for all the contacts that are associated to this account. Okay. Now tell me what I need to do first. Okay. So let us create a function. I will use this function update address contact. This line is a default. Okay. Next, what I need to do, I need to fetch the contacts. On what basis? I need to fetch all the contacts of one account, right? For example, if I open any account, here I will update the account. I need to get this ID, account ID, and I will pass this account ID in the contact company name, and I will fetch, if you see here, filter by Coffee Lab. Now you got it. I will get the account ID from account entity, and I will pass this account ID to the company name field in the contact entity. So I can get all the contacts which matches to the company, and I will loop through each contact and I will update. Okay. So here how I will get, now I am updating the address in the account. I need to get the account ID. Account ID, how I will get? There is no field to get the record ID. just like account name or owner, we don't have the ID. How to get the record ID? Get ID. Here it is not there. Let's get current record ID using JavaScript. Okay, this is the one. Form context dot data dot entity dot get ID. I'll just copy this code. I will add it here. I will store it in one variable where account. Okay. Now here I will be getting the account. In variable account, what I will get? Record ID. Always make sure you will be getting the IDs in the parenthesis. Now you need to remove them. How to use the replace one? First I will check if account is not equals to null, then I will use another variable account ID, account dot replace. First I will replace the open flower bracket with spaces, and then I will use the replace function to replace the closing flower bracket with the space. Now here I will be getting the account ID. Now what next? We need to prepare a retrieve multiple query. I will use this Dataverse. Go to configure. Which table I need to fetch? Which records I need to retrieve? Contacts, right? Because I need to update the contacts. Contacts. In what columns I will fetch it here? Company. Okay. So I'm fetching the contact, and also I'm using the columns to be selected as what column I have selected? Company name. Because why I have selected company name? If I go to contact, account is present under the company name, that is parent customer ID. This. So I have used this field. Now what next? I need to use the filters. Okay. Here we have to use retrieve multiple. I have contact, one item is selected. Now what is the filter? What is the filter? Company ID equals, gives one dummy value. Okay. Now click on xrm.web. This is the code. Just copy this code and paste it in your function. All this code that we haven't written, we are just configure the condition. We have generated this code. Okay. Now in account entity, we need to get another field. What is that field? Can anybody tell me? What field we need to update? Address one city. So first we need to get the value of the address one city. This is the value. So I will write this, copy this, where address city is equals to form context dot get attribute we need to get dot get value. So here what we need to pass, address one city schema name. Now this value we need to update. So here we have passed this dummy value. I'll remove this dummy value. I will pass the dynamic account ID. So whichever account we will update, this query will pass that account ID and it will get all the contacts of this account ID. Okay. Now let's save, copy, paste, Control S, Control U. I will open the account form. It's refreshed. Okay. Now I will register this script on change on save of account. So whenever we save account, it will fetch all the contacts and then it will update address one city of account into contacts. On save, what is the function name? This is the function. Save, publish. Okay, now let's refresh the account. Now I will update the address one city in the account to Save. Now let's check this. City is not updated. Okay, and this one, city is not updated. Can anybody tell me why? Just guess. We are only retrieving the record. We are not updating the retrieved records, right? So how to update the retrieved records is we have to create where data. So here we need to add the values which we want to update. So what values we need to update? As of now, we are going to update only the address one city. Where is this address one city? What is the schema name of the address one city in the contact entity? Let's open, get the logical name, address one city, clears logical names, address one city, this one, copy, paste. This value to, in this field, what value we need to set? We retrieve address one city here. Paste. Comma, if we have another field, let's say address one country, address one country, I will pass it as India. I have not update this data. We need to update this data in contact entity. How to use the update? So we can use the same data words. Okay, instead of retrieve multiple, we will use update. We need to update the contact entity. Okay, just use this query. Here it is there now. Copy this. XRM.pbb. Then here if you see, then success, failure. Once the record is updated, what we need to show, we can give success function. If failure, then what we will do? As of now, I don't want to do any action. I will pass null null. Okay. I want to update a contact record. Okay, for which ID? What is that ID? Here we need to pass the ID. And what data we need to update? We need to update this data. Contact entity, contact ID in this entity, update this record with these values. Okay, so here I am setting the values, address one city, okay, and then address one country. Address one city I'm filling with the address one city that we are getting from the account entity, and country I'm just hard coding as a India for all the record. Now I need to update this data in a contact entity. Update record in contact entity. For this record, this is the ID and this is the data. Okay. Now let's refresh. Copy, paste, Control X, Control V. updated. Let's go to accounts. Refresh. Now I will update the address one city as Delhi. Save. Now let's check this. Address one city is updated. Country also we are setting, right? Let's open this record. This record also in new tab. You see country, city. Another record, city, country. How it works? See, I will just debug the code. I will explain you. Now I am changing the from city Delhi to Mumbai. Now just this is the function. Click save. This is the account ID. Record account ID. Okay, and we got this account ID in the flower brackets. We are using a replace function. In after replacing the ID, after replacing, then this is the ID. Now we are fetching address one city in account entity. This is the address one city. Now in xrm.web API retrieve multiple query, I'm saying to retrieve the contacts with this customer ID, filter customer ID equals to this. Here I will place a debugger here. I will use F8. Okay, now here if you see result, I got two records because I have two entities, two contacts that are associated. So for each, it will loop for one record. It will update that one record and it will check for another record and it will loop through that second record. It will check all these fields and it will upset the data and it will update the second record. And it will check again. If you see entity length is two contacts we have. Now I value is 1. First it is 0, second it is 1. Now if third time it won't go inside the loop because there is no third record. If I update with any different value, it is updated to Pune. If I verify another record, updated. So here I'm updating all the associated contacts of this account. So that's why I use the retrieve multiple query to retrieve more than one record. What are those multiple records? All the record which are associated to this account. How I know I will get this account ID? I will pass this account ID to the contact company name. Whatever the contact that are matches to that company name, it will fetch. So I will use this for loop. For loop will loop through each record and it will update each record.